In the seismic shake-up of British politics, one resignation has sent shockwaves through the corridors of power. Anneliese Dodds, a well-regarded figure in the Labour Party, has made the bold and decisive move to step down as International Development Minister, following Keir Starmer's controversial decision to slash the UK's foreign aid budget. This is not just a cabinet shuffle. This is a rupture in the very fabric of Labour's ideological foundations and a glimpse into the future of UK politics. The reduction of foreign aid from 0.5% to 0.3% of GDP is a significant policy shift that embodies the central dilemma of modern geopolitics, the tug-of-war between defence spending and global humanitarian responsibility. Keir Starmer's move to divert billions from foreign aid into defence is a political gamble that has rattled both international development groups and left-wing factions within his own party. Foreign aid, which has long been a cornerstone of Britain's global influence and moral standing, has been dramatically slashed in favour of increased military investment. This is framed as a necessary response to the growing threats posed by Russia, China, and the instability that looms across the globe. But the question remains, at what cost? Starmer's justification for this pivot is clear. Defence spending is imperative in the face of mounting global instability. He is under immense pressure to bolster the UK's military capabilities, particularly in the wake of rising Russian aggression, China's expanding global influence, and the ongoing cyber warfare threats. The world is changing, and Starmer argues that the UK must recalibrate its priorities to stay competitive on the global stage. But this defence-first approach betrays a deeper issue, one that is rooted in a fundamental shift away from Britain's historic commitment to soft power and global development. This is where Dodds' resignation becomes both poignant and significant. She has long been an advocate for global aid, believing that the UK's development contributions were vital in addressing poverty, tackling climate change, and advancing human rights worldwide. For her, the decision to sacrifice billions in aid to fund more warships, fighter jets, and drones is a betrayal of the very principles she has championed throughout her political career. Dodds' resignation is a rare moment of principled defiance, a sharp rebuke to a policy that she deems not just a fiscal misstep, but a moral failure. And it raises an uncomfortable question: when did the world stop caring about humanitarianism? The tragedy of this shift is not just the immediate impact on those who will lose access to critical aid, it is the broader consequences for the UK's role in the world. The United Kingdom has long been a key player in the global development arena, using aid to build influence, improve lives, and promote peace. Reducing the foreign aid budget to a paltry 0.3% of GDP undercuts decades of diplomatic and humanitarian progress. It signals a retreat from global leadership at a time when the world desperately needs collaboration and aid, not just military might. While some may argue that defence spending is necessary to protect the UK's interests in an increasingly dangerous world, the reality is more nuanced. Military power without diplomatic and humanitarian influence is a hollow shell. Britain's position in the world has been built not just on the strength of its military, but on its ability to project soft power, its development aid, its diplomatic clout, its role in peacebuilding. Starmer's defence-centric approach may win favour with defence contractors and hawkish elements within his party, but it risks isolating the UK from its traditional allies and leaving the world's most vulnerable without support. And let's not forget the strategic implications of this decision. By slashing foreign aid, Starmer is opening the door for China and other global powers to fill the void. China's Belt and Road Initiative is already making inroads across Africa, Asia, and Latin America, offering infrastructure deals and economic partnerships in exchange for influence. The UK, once a leader in international development, is stepping back just as China is stepping forward. In the grand geopolitical game, this is a dangerous move. By forsaking aid, the UK is not only retreating from global goodwill, but it is also ceding ground to adversaries who are all too willing to take advantage of Britain's self-inflicted weakness. Furthermore, the consequences of this shift are likely to ripple across the Labour Party itself. Dodds' resignation has already sparked fury within the ranks, particularly among Labour's left-wing factions, who view the reduction in aid as a betrayal of the party's founding principles. The division between Starmer's centrist, pragmatic approach and the idealistic left-wing vision of a more just and equitable world is now more pronounced than ever. The rift may well deepen, leaving Starmer to contend with not just external challenges, but internal unrest that could erode his leadership. The irony here is undeniable. In a world where instability and inequality are growing at an alarming rate, Starmer has chosen to prioritize military power over the tools that have helped alleviate poverty and foster peace. Yes, the world is increasingly volatile, but this is precisely why we need the mechanisms of aid, diplomacy, and international cooperation more than ever. Military might can protect borders, but it cannot resolve the root causes of global instability. Starmer's decision to slash foreign aid may provide short-term security, but it jeopardizes long-term global standing and moral authority. The question now is whether the UK will continue to be a force for good in the world, or whether it will choose the path of isolationism and retreat. Dodd's resignation is a wake-up call to anyone who still believes that Britain's future lies in a world of cooperation, not just confrontation. If Starmer is not careful, he may find that in sacrificing aid for defense, he has lost the very soul of British diplomacy.